Welcome to the MMHP and the 989, channeling all styles and eras of Michigan music history. Recorded at the Michigan Rock Legends Hall of Fame, located inside the Bay County Historical Museum, from the city by the bay. Featuring your hosts, Dr. J, Sir Fred, Mr. Mike, and Scott Baker.
Hello, everybody. We're coming to you once again from the Michigan Rock and Roll Legends Hall of Fame studio here at the Historical Museum of Bay County on Washington Avenue. And we have a very special guest today, Mr. James Bradley. Ooh. James, welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, James.
And you are truly a Bay City guy. You were born here in Bay City, am I right?
Absolutely. Born and raised and ran the streets.
Well, tell us a little bit about, I grew up in Bay City. I was born here as well. So I'm probably familiar a little bit, at least, with the neighborhood where you grew up. Where did you live?
Monroe Street. It was 1114 North Monroe off of 3rd Street.
Off 3rd Street?
Yes. The Burney family, which you probably heard of in the past, they were a big family here.
Right.
And my grandmother, she was a renowned keyboard player. So she took me under her wings and had me taking organ lessons with the Organ Society. I think it was Grinnell's back then.
Right.
And they would go to different organizations, and I had a teacher, so you would play and, watch others perform. So it was pretty interesting. I didn't actually start singing until 12 years old.
Okay.
I wanted to sing so bad, but I was always out of tune. So I said, Lord, help me. So 12 years old, I actually began singing, and that started my career off.
Well, where you grew up was very close to where I went to school and later came back and taught, and that is St. Joseph Church and St. Joseph School, which is on 3rd Street, and the school, of course, was on right on the corner of 3rd Street and Sherman.
Yes.
In fact, I coached some of the guys that... Larry Murray, for example, and Terry Coburn, Danny Daniels, Michael Wilkins, all those guys kind of lived in the area, and we had a great gym at St. Joseph. So I would open it up, and those guys would come in and play basketball, and I coached them in these little city leagues when they were probably only about 11 or 12 years old. But it was nice. I saw Terry at your show at BMO's. It was very cool. So you said your mom was a pianist, is that right?
My grandmother.
Oh, your grandmother.
Yes, Eleanor Burney.
And so there was music in your family.
It's music all in my family. In fact, my father was a gospel singer.
Okay.
And he traveled, and of course, back in the day, they packed their bags and you wouldn't see him anymore, that type of thing. So he was gone when I was 2 or 3 years old. But as far as the music background, I had singers and instrumentalists that were all around me. But I couldn't do anything. Not until my grandmother introduced me to the Organ Society, I began to do keyboard and learn how theory and notes, but I couldn't sing. So as a result of that, like I said, 12 years old, I began to sing, and with the keyboard under my belt, I was able to play and sing.
So did you start out singing gospel?
Yes. I think that was Second Baptist Church, which is also on Monroe Street on the south side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where did you go to school in Bay City? You went to public school, obviously.
Yes, well, I attended Dawson School.
Well, right across the street,
Washington Intermediate, and then on to Central High School.
Now, it's at Central that you put together the James Bradley Review?
Yes.
Okay, can you kind of take us back? How did that transpire? How did you, get with the other guys in the group?
Well, a lady by the name of Mary Rancourt, she heard of me. Her son, Chuck Rancourt, which was my drummer, Tom Seeger, who played bass, and Bob Pilarski played guitar. So she kind of pulled me and said, come over and meet my son's band. At that point, it was just 3 of them. So I bought my Farfisa organ, and began to play with them. And she hired me. It was like an instant thing. So when we got to high school, we just formed a group and began to play around town. And our first big gig was at the YMCA on Madison Avenue, and we packed the place.
So that was just like a teen dance or something? Is that?
Yeah, like a community dance, yeah, because there's people from all over the city that came.
Okay.
And we publicized it pretty well, but that was actually our first gig.
So where did you gig after that? Do you remember that some other places?
Well, after that, during that time was high schools.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lady by the name of Elaine Wright who was managing a few groups in town, and she heard of me and she liked me and we talked, and she taught me the ropes in regards to contracts and gigs. So she got us some gigs up north, different high schools. And then we ventured off to Oscoda to the Air Force Base. And there was a short time when the age went from 18 to 21. You remember that?
Mm-hmm, sure.
So then we played bars at that point. Then it switched back to 18. But
right.
But I did a lot of musical things during that time. Not only with the band, I sang with the choral group at Central, which led me to my first time going to Europe for 8 weeks. And we sung with a string ensemble and all various types of music.
So where was this choral group from? Was this
the
from Bay City or?
No, it was Ann Arbor. Actually, it was an organization, Youth for Understanding. And you had to audition to get in. So I went down and auditioned and I got in it. And so we rehearsed like once a week on Saturdays. And we left, what was it, June 72.
Oh, that must have been quite an experience going overseas.
It was great. The people over there have a different behavior or attitude about music. They like all sorts of music. So we sang gospel, we sang pop, classical, etc.
Were you still in school at that point?
No, we had graduated.
Okay.
Yeah, we graduated. Was it 72? June 72.
Okay.
I'm kind of interested in when you were playing like teen dances. What kind of music did you guys specialize in? You know, like Motown or progressive rock. What were you doing?
Well, during that time it was pop music, and all the guys were Caucasian. I was the only black in the group, so we kind of like lend ourselves to each other. We played rock, soft rock, funk, and we played R&B, etc. At that time, I was real small, had my high platform shoes and big hair, and Sly and the Family Stone was that person that inspired me because I was playing the organ,
Oh, wow.
So I want to take you higher.
Yeah, well, we got to see you perform that at BeBe.
Yeah, I just threw that in there because I felt that was part of Bay City.
Part of your roots, right?
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's hard to go wrong with Sly and the Family Stone.
No, that was the guy during the time.
So then you went on to college?
Yes, I went to Central Michigan University. And I actually was playing 50-mile radius of the college. So we were at the Hidden Hollow at that time in Saginaw. We played there several times a month, and school and then back and forth. So one night I was there, an agent hit me up from Wisconsin, Gary Van Zeelen agency at the time. And I was leery of agents because I felt that they were going to steal my music or take my money, etc. So I kept his car for 2 years, and my group came up and said, James, we got to go on the road. So I left Central Michigan after 3 semesters, went on the road with the Gary Van Zeelen agency. It was very successful and a whole different ball game. Mm-hmm. You played every night. During that time, they had bands 5 and 6 nights a week. And we were in that era. It made us better because we played every night and we met different people that influenced our playing. And the big thing back then for us was showmanship. You just couldn't get up there and play the guitar and stand stiff. If they were show bands, they called them. So we got right into
4 sets.
Yes, 4 sets.
Were these the same musicians that were in the original James Bradley Review?
No. Became Mick Varellin, Fred Garcia, Mike Garcia, and myself. And then we hired 2 horn players out of Detroit area that came back on the road with us. So we had a bigger venue of music to play. Because back then, funk was really heavy.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Or dance music, if you will.
Mm-hmm. So I was reading somewhere, I was kind of digging online for a little bit of information about you. And there was something in a story, I guess it was a story, maybe reviewing one of your releases, and it talked about that you had then moved into gospel music. You had the Janitor Gospel Singers. Have I got that right?
Oh, Janitor Bradley?
Or Janitor Bradley Singers?
Yeah, that was my stepmother in Kansas City, Missouri. So I was recording with her and going to UMKC Conservatory of Music.
So you left the band that you were making a lot of money with and kind of went in a different direction?
Yes, because with bands, my total view of where I wanted to go, they were just having fun. When you go on the road, everything is there for you. But I was still focused on my purpose, and they just wasn't there, so I left the band, went back to school in Kansas City. And there my stepmother asked me to be in her group, so we went and recorded. And it was a success. And then I formed a band in Kansas City, basically the same as it was in Bay City. And we played around the local areas. And then I decided to go back on the road.
So this band that you put together in Kansas City, did you call it the James Bradley Review, or did you have a different name for it?
It was a James Bradley Review, and then it went to James Bradley and Friends. And as I progressed, I came from behind the organ. I was the total front man. So all the focus was on me. And but everybody was okay with it.
Okay.
So this is probably about, are we talking mid-70s now, or?
Yes, because I went back to Europe with my group with the USO show that we auditioned for up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And then we went, a few months later, we were out Germany, all over Europe for 8 weeks.
Okay, and you're playing Army bases or armed services?
Army bases.
Yeah. Right.
We did some, I think it was in Berlin, we did like a Volksfest, they called it, and we were the headliners.
Okay, now, when you played Berlin, this is still when the wall was up, right?
Yes.
Okay, what was that like?
It was very interesting because going around to the different countries and spots, they had the Army bases were all over. So they had, I think it was called Romeo. It was near the wall. So at one point, I got kind of scared because if you went too close to the wall, you get shot from either side. That's how protected the wall was during that time.
Wow.
And it was like way out into nothing, like the wilderness. But the USO wanted to make sure all the servicemen had the opportunity to have some type of entertainment.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. I learned a lot about myself and about living in the United States compared to some of the areas that we're in. At the same token, I had a chance to live in youth hostels with very rich families. And one surprise, we went to a camp of all boys. We had 2 girls with us when we went to Europe too, but that's another story. Mm. But we were in this camp, and the guys were literally, when you went to sleep, they would put paper between your toes and light it on fire.
Wow.
And we sit there and watch them do it to their, element. But and then the food, I had to get used to the food. So in that camp, I thought it was slop, so I ate candy every day.
Oh.
So it was very interesting.
Wow.
But I love Europe, but in general.
Right. Well, I'm sure the service people and the USO probably very much appreciated you guys.
Yes, they treated us very well. We had a Mercedes bus. We had escorts. We were treated like kings and queens, so we had a good time.
Did you do any recording with the Janitor Bradley Singers at all?
Yes, our first song was Moving in the Right Direction. We actually recorded that in Charlotte. Is that North Carolina? Yeah, Charlotte, North Carolina.
So was that the first time you were actually on a record?
Yes, but notoriety because it hit the charts and we were actually performing. So it was crazy for me. I was doing my rock thing, or whatever you call it, and then on Sundays I would fly out to wherever they were at and sing with them.
Wow.
So they sang like the big gospel concerts and the big names and things of that nature. So I had a taste of both worlds.
Now, did the gospel recording that you did that lead to getting a recording contract in California, or what's
yes.
the next step here?
Well, what happened is I left Kansas City and went back on the road, and a gentleman by the name of Eddie Sanders, who actually approached me like several years back, he formed his own agency. So I told him, if you bring me back on the road, I'm going to be your #1 group, and I want you to invest money into me. And he did that. So the first recording I did for me, by myself, we went to Toronto, Canada. And at the time, Lou Rawls's drummer, Charles Collins, he produced the whole record. Then later I found out that the recording went to ATV Music, which is in Los Angeles, and Chapel Music in New York. I kind of think it was like elevated music.
Mm-hmm.
But lo and behold, I had an agency and a manager, Randy Schwer. He knew people on Sunset Boulevard at the record company, Polydor Records. And it's the guy that produced the Eagles during that time. So I had never been to California. I said, I want to go. Packed my bags, told the band we were on hold for a few weeks, and I went out, and they knew me when I got there because it was already set up. But the cool thing about that is the record music that I recorded in Toronto was there. So he called downstairs and said, send me up James Bradley's music. We sat there together in the office and listened to it. He says, I love your voice, I love this. But during that time, it was reversal. White people were singing black music style, like the Bee Gees,
mm-hmm.
and vice versa. So it was hard to place me. Anyway, there was a lot of people I met, big names, went back on the road. About maybe 3 weeks later, I got a call, Melico Records wants to sign you. Because he did tell me that he was going to help me get a contract, and he did, the gentleman. And I went down there, and they just signed me.
Now, did you get a record produced by the Eagles producer? Was that Bill Simzik?
Yeah. No, I got produced in Melico by Frederick Knight.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know Frederick Knight, but
heard of him, yeah.
One of his big hits was Ring My Bell, Anita Ward. And it's crazy because she was in before me, and then I came in for a session. And their parent company was TK Records, which was disco. So I came through the disco era.
Ah.
So the 12-inch, the singles,
mm-hmm.
and all that. But of course, my album, one side was disco and the other side was R&B, which I preferred. But when
mm-hmm.
you get a contract, you go with the
flow.
we
listened to that album
mm-hmm.
the other night, and yeah, I see what you said. The side one
mm-hmm.
is all disco,
right?
And then side 2 is more like R&B ballads, and of course the standout song was I Can't Get Enough of You.
Well, I'm In Too Deep was the hit that hit the charts right away.
Right.
I hated that song.
You did.
In fact, when we recorded that song, I was trying to get into the mood. I stopped that session. I said, take me to a liquor store. I got a half pint of liquor, drank it down. I said, turn the lights out and run the track. And we recorded that night. That chart hit that song hit the chart so quickly. I said, wow.
Yeah.
And to this day, I will hardly sing it. I really don't sing it.
Oh, really?
But people remember it.
Yeah, because I thought, that was, that one kind of jumped off the record when I was listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, oh, geez, that sounds like a hit.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that it had already charted.
Yeah, it charted. It took me a lot of places. But on the flip side was Can't Get Enough of Your Love. So it was controversial in the industry saying that they should have put that out on me first.
Mm-hmm.
So my agent managers I had during the time, they didn't really know about the business. And they didn't know what to expect. It just boom. So they were kind of slow at moving. But of course I was still playing on the road. Next, the album came out. So my mother had passed away. I was very emotional. I quit. And they said, well, come out, the album's coming out. So I said, okay, I'll be out tomorrow. No, I'm not coming. So I went through that for a number of years. The album was successful. I didn't do a lot of presentations with it though. Who really brought me back on the road was Evan Hawkins, Oh Happy Day.
Yeah, right. I saw
So
that.
I auditioned for him and I sang for him up in Saginaw. And we got a good relationship. So on the summers, I would go and perform with him. He did workshops and music conventions around the world. So I had an opportunity to work with him, and I wrote a song for his album. He let me record it and paid me all the royalties and everything. So once again, it was the gospel, but it was contemporary.
Mm-hmm.
And so a while went back. I went back to school, ended with 3 master's and 2 undergrad degrees, and a certificate from Cornell University in New York. I was singing in New York clubs, just quietly, just creeping back in. And I piggybacked on my album. So my story today is the album I made 30 plus years ago works for me today.
Mm-hmm.
That was the disco era one, but you managed to skip the disco era and go right into the 80s.
Yes, because we did a remix actually in New York during Studio 54 time.
Mm-hmm.
But still, the music scene was crazy all over the place. And I had gotten married and all that kind of stuff, so your life kind of changed a little bit. But I got a grip back on the music industry, and it just worked for me. And when I moved to New York, I've been there for about 17 years now. I perform all the big people. What's her name? Valerie Simpson, when her husband was alive. Will Downings, just a host of people that kind of brought me back into the fold.
Wonderful.
So you're playing like mostly clubs now? Is that?
Yes, clubs. I did a thing with Paris. These big DJs, the DJs took over.
Mm-hmm.
And we wrote a song, collaborated together, and recorded it for Paris, for the discos. So right now we're trying to negotiate to get me back to Europe, just to make a little tour. So that would be very exciting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, dance music is, it's still very popular.
It is.
Yeah, it isn't, I guess, although there's definitely disco elements in it.
Yes.
Yeah,
well, I just call it dance music.
Yeah.
And of course, when you go to some clubs now, they have what they call it old school. So it's mixed disco. And that's the dance music. People listen to the old music that want to dance.
Right.
Did you ever do
Northern
Studio 50?
Soul music, yeah.
Northern soul.
Northern soul, southern
That's
soul.
a big thing, like in England and Finland and other Scandinavian countries.
Right. Well, you bring up an interesting point. When my album came out, UK, they bought. Theirs is on the Attic Records, I think it was. So my record's been playing all over the world, basically. I don't know how they do that, but they just kind of move it around. So when I would go back to Europe and sing, I found that they really like dance music, they like black music, they like gospel music, they love jazz. Their whole taste in music was a little different than the American public.
Right.
They appreciated all types of music.
Yeah, that's something we've talked about on this show quite a bit, and how European audiences seem to be more appreciative of American music than Americans are. Strange as that sounds.
Well, it's interesting, like, what's her name? Cynthia Evo, the one that did The Wiz?
Yeah.
She's all over the United States. She's just big time, but she came from London. So it's vice versa. She came from London to the U.S. Everybody loves her.
Yeah.
Many, many groups. Beatles, it's that realm. There's a lot of, if you go back in history, you'll find a lot of people came from London here and got big and then went back.
Yeah. And all those artists were influenced themselves by American music.
Yeah,
and just
Tom
kind of brought it
Jones.
back with a little bit of a twist.
Yeah, me and Tom Jones have a thing with Wiggle.
That's right.
But you just learn from your artists that you're in time with. Bruno Mars is another person.
Did you ever get on in Studio 54 and play there?
I didn't get into the Studio 54.
Or Solid Gold or any TV shows at that time? Or European TV?
I did some shows that were, I call them off-brand shows, but they were similar. And
can they look them up on YouTube? What would they be?
YouTube has a lot of stuff on there. I don't even know that's there. There's a lot of gospel music because I recorded with a lot of people. I was saying earlier that I knew Aretha Franklin's keyboard player because I did an album with him. And when Aretha passed, they called me to come and sing. It's on YouTube.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it was called the Aretha Franklin Memorial Choir.
Now that the call to you to do that, it was kind of based on, all the gospel singing you had done in the past primarily. Is that how they kind of got?
I think that was part of it because like I said, I did the album with the keyboard player before, and he played various concerts in that realm. I've sang a lot. A lot of people just don't realize when you become a singer, you can do gobs of things. You don't get the direct credit all the time, but the association and being there, the people that you sing with are big artists. There's Vanessa Bell Armstrong's out of Detroit. She's huge. We'd sing on the same album. She was first and I was second cut. BeBe and CeCe, the Winans family, Winans.
Right, sure.
I've touched base with everybody. And I thought it was just a blessing to be able to do that because, I dropped out for a while and I came back in and kept going. I mean, I know I'm only 16 right now, but,
Yeah.
Should I tell my real age? No, I can't.
We'll keep it a secret. Yeah.
Well, I was there at a lot of that period you just talked about, so I kind of know.
Yes. Yes. And I appreciate it. It seems like I always attract a lot of the younger people. And they said, "Oh, you look so good." So when I tell my age, they say, "Oh, wow, are you kidding me?" What do you do? I go to sleep early.
Yeah.
Anything, I don't know.
Well, when you hit a certain age, it's early to bed, early to rise.
Yes.
Yeah,
but there's
without
those, like here this week, it's just been, when you come home for one thing, that's the first thing.
Yeah.
People are always pulling at you and stuff of that nature. So, but you get used to playing the game.
Yeah.
If you will.
But you come home weekly every year to Bay City, at least for a week. More?
I haven't been here. It's been 2 years since I've been here.
So you haven't been back since that gig that we did?
Yeah, that gig.
Okay.
In fact, I flew in for that weekend, and I think I was here for a couple of days and went back to New York.
Okay. I thought you had an annual time you came back.
Oh, no. I did the theater, the State Theater, and there's a gap between that, and then the Juneteenth. And then Robert called me, "Why don't you come out and sing with me?" So it was just hit and miss thing.
Okay. So when you come home to Bay City, what's a typical week for you here in Bay City like?
Well, because
you always have a gig. How do you get that?
The last 5 years has been a gig. It just happened.
Somebody puts it together?
I was negotiating with the State Theater for a couple of years. And the first booking, I didn't feel like he was doing enough promo, so I canceled it. So 2 years later, I came. And the momentum every time I came home was for a gig. I don't come home very often because most of my family is gone here. Okay. As a matter of fact, I tell the story, when I come here, I stay in a hotel like I'm a foreigner. I prefer that. I like my privacy. I do have cousins here. But, I'm in a whole different zone.
Yeah.
I get it. So you played at BMO's coming home this week, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a part of an organization they called the Stone Soul Picnic Organization.
Yeah.
They asked me to be a member, so I helped them this year. And, of course, then they brought me in to sing. And I just kind of put a group together in the area to do a couple songs. And,
it was really fun.
Yeah.
That was the most people I've seen at BMO's ever.
Oh, okay.
It was really crowded and warm in there.
I heard of BMO's, but I had never been there.
Yeah.
I knew it was a bar. We don't use the word bar anymore. We say club.
Yeah. Well, BMO's is definitely a bar.
Yes.
It'd be a stretch calling BMO's a club. That's
but
for
the
sure.
people were very receptive.
Yeah, that was great.
Very responsive. It was great. The problem I had there at BMO's, I couldn't get to all my friends. Like you said, "Jim, come here. I'm coming to you," and somebody pulls me, pulls you, and that gets kind of crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
So what's a typical week, or how have they been going for you, or month in New York? I mean, you always have a shows down the road coming up, or how are you booked on a
Well,
regular?
when I leave here, I go back to New York for a week, and then I'm going to Chicago for the Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
And there's a big reunion down there, so I'm going to be one of the performers. When you get in my age category and all the stuff I've done, you just kind of like pick and choose.
Yeah.
It's not like in the beginning we were on the road every night.
Mm-hmm.
Every week we're in a different state, you know. I love music, as you can tell, and I love to perform for people because I believe that music has a message in it. So my delivery, if you can remember, it's, you know, I love you, you. So I personalize it, which draws the people in, because I'm like this. When people come to a club, they're going through stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they do liquor or whatever it takes to kind of forget it. So I guess I bring back the reality and make them feel comfortable with a particular song. Have I told you lately that I love you? And they need to hear that. And they hear it and it hits somewhere within their soul that they take it and make things more positive in their life. Mm-hmm. At least that's what I believe.
So you pick and choose gigs from at this point.
Yes. As I said earlier, I'm trying to get this European tour again.
Yeah, that's what made me think maybe you were playing more often.
Yeah. So, as you know in music, you got this project, that project, that project. Mm-hmm. That's where you wore out. And then people want you to do all this other stuff in between. So you get a certain age group, you say, look, I don't want the stress. Music is wonderful, but the business will stress you out.
Mm-hmm.
Are you booking yourself primarily, or do you have...
Right now, primarily I book myself. I still have the manager in Wisconsin. He's growing a little older. He doesn't do as much, but I've managed to be popular enough where people know me, and they'll book me.
Okay, yeah.
Now, is it the same with sessions? Have you been doing a lot of sessions over the last few years, or how's that going?
Oh, I haven't did a session probably a couple of years.
Okay. I could see you being the first call there, being in New York. You know, you're right there.
Yes, well, New York is it's a crazy city. It's so much going on. A lot of people are playing every night. So the good thing about New York, I can get the top premium musicians. So when they come in one rehearsal, you're ready to go. Mm-hmm. They play with everybody. For instance, I played with Cuba Gooding Jr. His brother plays bass for me.
Oh, wow.
So when you book into a club and the promo goes out, people know individuals. It draws them in. And I became very popular in New York during the years. A lot of people at this point, you're either playing or in the studio.
Yeah.
So when you play, you make money right away. The studio is a long-term thing. You're waiting, releases, and the whole music industry has changed now. But primarily, if I do recording, I'm doing it with somebody else.
Now, what are some of your favorite venues to perform at?
The Groove.
In New York?
In New York, which is in the West Village, over by the Blue Note.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw in two other places: Carnegie Hall and what is it? Radio City Music Hall.
Tell us about those.
On 42nd Street, BeBe King had a club, and it was concerts 7 nights a week, and on Sundays they had this gospel choir called the Harlem Gospel Singers, and I managed to audition for them, just on the route. So I got in. They wanted me to go to the Netherlands. Andre Rule, are you familiar with that name?
No.
He's a renowned violinist. Plays all over the world. So it kind of reminds me of the Lawrence Welk show back in the day, with a lot of different type of artists with this big orchestra.
Yeah.
And they travel. So we got called. He took us. We went over there and sang. And of course, with him being well known, I mean, packed out. He even had his own chef for us. It was beautiful. So he came to New York. He called on us to come there. and he was playing at the Radio City Music Hall. So it was like, wow, the Radio City Music Hall. And it was televised. PBS did a documentary show.
Oh.
I didn't realize it. So one day I'm walking on the street. I know you. Okay. You were on TV the other night. I said, I was. So I had to go back and find out. It had been out for a year, and they played that documentary about at least 2 years.
Oh, wow.
It was very interesting. And I sing classical music too. I don't know if I told you that.
Oh, wow.
I sing opera. That music, I graduated from University of Michigan with a music degree, opera performance. So I was doing little small operas, Menotti opera, various operas. And then when you're in music school, you're always singing different, well, I can't call the name of them, the big solos from different opera artists. And when I got to New York, this renowned group of classical singers asked me to come to audition, and I did. I started singing with them. And I love classical music too. So after like 5 months, I was singing solos, and we went to the Carnegie Hall and sang.
Oh, wow.
So it's like I had all these, I was popular in all these different groups, which was very interesting. I could do this, I could do that, you know. It wasn't about being a star, it was just being able to use your talent.
Mm-hmm.
And it just hitting the right spots. So when I come back to tell my story, people don't understand. I even taught school, I was a math teacher. I taught college for 5 years. So many things I've done, I just do them, you know, because I had the skill and the documentation credentials.
So you said you taught in college. What did you teach there?
Marketing.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because
I had thought it would have been something with music.
Everybody says music. I taught music as a personal thing, but it's crazy. People don't come, they don't rehearse, they don't practice. I didn't have time to deal with that, so I did it for a season. But I worked for Comcast Corporation. That was a biggie for me. I worked with all the vendors, HBO, Showtime, TMC, all of them. So when we did big promotions, I was there. And because I was a marketing manager in that, you know, environment, I took all those skills with me. I went to Wayne State University. That was my first master's, organizational communication.
Wow.
So you say, how'd you do all this stuff? How did you graduate all these masters? Because I did it in between.
Unreal. Keep him busy.
My goal in life when I was growing up at Central was to get an education and to do music. So when music was slow, I went back to school. You do a few things here and now and then, but if the voice fell or whatever, I would have a backup.
Mm-hmm.
That was my mindset. And it all worked.
But you never went back to Central Michigan after you left, right?
No, from there, I went to University of Michigan.
Oh, okay.
And I got a communication degree there, undergrad, and then a music undergrad. And then from there, I went to Wayne State. And then I went back on the road, did all these wonderful things, and came back. Went to New York and got 2 degrees. One in students with disabilities and a gen ed. Now, when I got to high school, they said, we want you to teach math. I didn't have a math background, but I loved numbers because of number crunching with the marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So it went hand in hand, and I taught myself and read the books, and I was a math teacher.
Wow.
It was exciting, let me tell you. The theories, you had to learn all this and test it before I could teach. Every time the bell rang, I had a new group of kids. And living in New York and working in New York and being a teacher in New York, it was wild. So you had all these different groups of people. As they say, New York is a melting pot.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And even I went to Punta Cana. The first time I went to Punta Cana, we stayed at a resort, and very powerful entertainment and activities. They thought I was Dominican. You see it? I said, hola, bye. But in doing all that, I had the opportunity to sing over there. I mean, they had these big shows, it's like Vegas, on the resort. And I was singing with hundreds of people. It was fun.
So are you in New York City where you live?
Yes, New York City.
What have you done there between all these shows? Have you still teaching?
No, I retired,
Yeah.
but I'm still with the DOE, New York DOE. So if I have some downtime, I'll do some sub work for them. And no contract, though, because I have to be able to leave when I want. Rehearse a lot, and the little gigs I do. But I travel a lot personally.
Okay.
Yeah. You get retired. I'm a retiree. Come on.
Well, New York City, it's got to be a little pricey. That's why I wondered. You must have done pretty dang well, or you're still doing something.
Yes. Why? Monetary wise, again, back to high school days, I was always drummed to prepare for retirement. And as I watched some people in my life, when they retired, they didn't have anything. And I wanted everything. I wanted to travel. I wanted to do this. So I saved money up and start putting different funds. And I was fortunate enough to make good money. I made over $100,000 teaching. So New York pays the highest in the world, I think.
Yeah.
And I had all the credentials. So the more credentials you have, the more money you make. So you just have to learn how to save your money. You can live in New York. New York is high, it is, but you have to manage your money. You know what you can do. Then your Social Security kicks in, your pension kicks in. All these different money buckets I had, they're there. Some I don't even touch unless I need them.
Good for you. That's
so
awesome.
I own a condo downtown Detroit. I own a house in Mount Morris Township. So currently, I want to move back to Detroit on a part-time basis, like maybe 2 or 3 months, and then go back to New York. It's only an hour and a half away. So, but at the retirement age, you just do what you want to do. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. So, that's where I'm at in my life. I'm just excited, and I thank God for my life, and I can walk, move, and still sing.
Yeah, well, that's
where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Who are some of the your favorite people you've shared a bill with, or big stars that you've shared a bill with, outside of the ones you've already mentioned in the gospel?
This is an old group, Tommy James and Shondells.
Oh yeah.
When I left Toronto, well, actually, Dan Hill. Sometimes when we touch,
yeah,
we had the same lawyer in Canada.
Really?
So before his record came out, I knew it was coming.
I got the records.
Oh my God! Little groups that like the Spinners. Of course, they all like reinvented themselves. Will Downing, various artists like that. A lot of big time gospel artists. I don't even know them. John B. Key, just big people, big in the industry.
Who were some Michigan influences on you?
Well, Stevie Wonder would definitely be one. In fact, when Stevie did Fingertips,
right, his first big hit,
and Motown was real big. I went down to audition. I didn't get with Motown, but I got with one of the producers. His name was Herman Weems, and You Got to Pay the Price was his record. He's the one that got me hooked up in Canada too. So that kind of got me the rolling.
The Toronto move.
Yeah, the Toronto move.
What year was that?
They had to be. Let me see what's ours. They had to be about 74, maybe.
It's ironic because you probably heard of Dick Wagner from Michigan.
Yes.
Because he made his move to do a lot of work in Toronto around that time through Lou Reed and Bob Ezrin, who had a studio there.
I knew all of them because we all came from the same era. When WTAC was still going, it was the Rock Nation here. So you asked me a while back about what type of music I played. I played everything. I can't name all the titles now because my brain is froze. But we had to play in venues in Michigan. You had to play some rock.
Mm-hmm.
So when we did the Battle of the Bands, we had Electric Prunes, all these different groups would come in. They always had at least 2 big groups coming. So the Seegers and the Wagners and various groups in the area. What was it? That Three Dog Night. Farmer, what's Farmer's?
Mark Farner?
Mark Farner. All
Grand Funk.
We all grew up in the same arena, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of the group though?
Grand Funk Railroad?
Grand Funk Railroad.
Yeah.
I'm getting closer to all those. And then, of course, when Woodstock came out, everybody was on the screen. So those type of things influenced me as well. And I think it was good for me coming from Bay City because I was versatile. I wasn't stuck with R&B. I even did jazz, trios. Musically, I wanted to be able to do everything, and I had a chance to be in all its arenas. So it's never no one thing. Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Do you ever see any of the guys from, that early version of the James Bradley Review? Are they still with us?
Tom Seeger, he passed away. He passed away right after high school.
Is he still around?
Bob Pilarski, I think he's passed away. I used to talk to him. I don't see him. Chuck Rancor is in Florida. That's the original guys.
Yeah.
And
are the Garcias around?
The Garcias around. In fact, Mike Garcia was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's kind of. Anyway, his cousin Fred Garcia, we talk all the time. He's in Phoenix, and Mick Varela was there with my old drummer. What's his name? Larry Lawrence is down in Florida. He has his own group now. So it's various ones. My dream is to grab most of the people I played with and have a reunion.
Cool.
That would be so cool. So we can all hobble in on our canes.
Well, it's tough to do when everybody's, spread out now. And
yeah, but some of them are able to travel.
Yeah.
Some of them are able to travel.
I work a lot with Bobby Balderrama, and he mentions you a lot. How did you guys connect?
When Bobby was getting popular with the 96 Tears, I was behind them. I was coming up. Frankie and all them, they would come see us rehearse. We were a basement band trying to get together.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't perform with him until later on. I did some gigs with him and Frankie because I was on the road, and I came back, and that's why I was going to school. I did, a blues festival up in Tawas area. And so he called me back from New York one time to open for the Beach Boys down at Vets Park, I think it was. And another big rock group, I can't recall the name. So we kind of like worked on and off like that. Then he came to New York, so I did a gig with him at Times Square and then Lower Manhattan.
Wow. With Question Mark and Mysterians or with Bobby?
No, because Bobby was, Question Mark kind of like disappeared for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It was always Frankie and a few other players.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to the smooth jazz side, so he kind of does both, but he prefers, I think, this time, the smooth jazz.
Yeah, that's what he's doing right now. Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby's got a new release out, Smooth Jazz.
Yes.
Just came out. Sunset Beach. Yeah.
Yeah. I commented on his page about it. So he appreciates me and I appreciate him. So whenever we could get together, because after I moved it was different, he said, come on, sing for me.
Awesome.
So that's where we're at now.
You got a lot of different musical pools to dip into.
Yeah, because when you work with a lot of people and keep your door open to do diverse things, you have more opportunity.
That's wonderful. So what's on the horizon?
Well, the tour for Europe again.
Yeah. How long do you think that's going to be if you get it working?
I think that won't happen until maybe next year.
Okay. And it's going to be a couple months?
Yeah, because we're still negotiating and setting up and how many people I can bring, how much they can pay. That type of thing.
Maybe put you on a bill with somebody too, like team you up with another big player and get you guys some big...
It's crazy. They still play my records. That's how they found me.
Oh.
In fact, I had I was playing the first time at the Groove in the West Village two guys came and introduced themselves to me. They were DJs from London. They came all the way to see me and meet me, which is like, wow.
Yeah.
And they said, we play your record all the time. I mean, this is like 10 years later. But it's just, they go by the music, the dance. So if you get with the DJs, that's a plus.
It's like an added bonus.
Yeah, because because the dance music are heavy. I always like to think dance music is heavier than rock, because rock is a whole different ball game. You know.
Have you found that anybody has like sampled some of your tunes? And you know, there's so many remixes and things like that in dance music now.
Yeah, there's a guy right now I'm kind of collaborating with, Can't Get Enough of Your Love. We're going to put a rap on top of it. Out of Austin, Texas. So I'm going to meet with him probably in November of this year to finalize a copy. So that's going to be interesting. Kind of reminds me of the Tina Turner story. She went from this plateau to this, and she went up because she was singing rock type music. So it's kind of like that realm, if you will.
Well, cool. So Europe, hopefully next year, and
hopefully I have another hit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like what I'm doing, and most people think, well, you don't have a hit record, but I always say the people that you don't see are making money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I always think of the story of the TLC, I think it is. You've seen them, they look good, they were fashionable, but they weren't making any money. And there's a lot of groups out there like that, because they want to get known. When you first started, did you say, yeah, we'll play? We'll play for a hot dog. You know, I played a gig for a chicken dinner one time, but this is when I was coming up.
Yeah.
But when you learn the ropes and learn the money and how to negotiate, that's where I think a lot of people feel. It's not just about performing. You got to know the business.
Yeah.
I want money. So recently, before I came here, they called me to do a gig in Long Island. You know anything about New York, Long Island? Long Island is kind of separate from the city of its own. They said, we want you to come play a 1-hour show. It's a summer concert series. Most cities have those in the park. We want to get $1,500. I said, no, I'll take $2,000. And it worked. So you kind of get confident, not cocky, but confident. No, I can't accept that. I got to have this.
Right.
And sometimes you can get it, sometimes you can't. So it takes time to get to that point, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It takes time, you know.
Did you ever do any shows with Larry McCray or Cherie Williams?
Larry was a show that you ran.
Well, Larry, you did, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you've ever jammed with Larry. See, I know you guys kind of all know.
I didn't really know Larry
you were
that.
a little ahead of him. Yeah.
I guess these people were popping up, but I heard a lot about Larry McCray. I think he lived in Saginaw at the time. Is he still living in Accessville?
He's in Bay City, Accessville. Yeah.
And he when we spoke, he says, I heard a lot about you through the years. I said, oh, I heard some stuff about you. That was the first time we actually got together.
Oh, wow, at that show.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's like when you meet your neighborhood musicians and you actually get together, you're studying each other. Let me see what he can do. Well, Larry's a phenomenal guitar player. He knows his craft. But he hits a blues, so I'll go up there and sing the blues with him. I mean, I sang with jazz in Chicago. What's his name? Jimmy Duff, organ player.
Oh, really?
It was Ramsey Lewis's club. It's called the Back Alley. And we were in town performing somewhere. We were at Chicago. They had a club. Oh, I can't think of the city. We performed there, but it was owned by the group Chicago.
Wow.
So then we went into the city that night because the clubs stay open all night. And the particular guitar player I had then was a phenomenal jazz player. So he was really interested. And I went and I said, can I sit in? This is crazy. They don't know me. I don't know them. He said, come on. We did the jazz version of Summertime.
Oof.
They killed it.
Oof.
And of course, as you know, players that you play with, they're going to inspire you with their different chords.
Yeah.
It's no more 1-4-5 progression, you know, 13th, 9th. And luckily enough with me going to school, learning theory, and can read notes, and I had to write band tunes to graduate. So I was familiar with that whole foundation. So I'm like this, I'll sing anything. Only thing I don't really perform is country, but I think I can now because it's a story.
Yeah.
Are you playing keyboard at all anymore? Or?
I have not played keyboard publicly in years.
Okay.
I was in Oklahoma and somebody discovered me. They said, you need to get from behind that keyboard and get out front. Since that gig, I was out in front and hired me a keyboard player. But
did you miss it?
Not really.
Oh yeah.
I think because I wanted to be out front, but I didn't know it.
So it was such a new experience that you left.
Because I was tied. I was a part of the musicians.
Yeah.
If I left, it was just the three pieces, playing the organ, which I did sometimes. I would come up and then I would go back. But I became a permanent front man.
Right.
So when you were going way back to the James Bradley Review in Bay City, you were always behind the keyboard at that point, right?
Yes. Heard it through the grapevine. Had to do the notation and sing.
Right.
So I'm very animated. You know that, right? More so then than now. I would move and fall on my knees and go backwards and everything. When you're playing the keyboard, it's kind of difficult to do that. So you kind of developed.
Right.
I developed because I was a showman, sing and show.
So that losing Sly changed subject. But Sly, speaking of showman, losing Sly earlier this year must have been a huge hit for you.
The Sly now?
Sly and the Family Stone. He passed away.
Well, Sly passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, he passed away a few months back.
Yeah, I just wondered how that hit you, being that he was your first.
It hit me kind of hard.
Yeah.
I write for a music online page. Actually, I have quite a few. So I wrote a story on him.
Oh.
And I talked about my experience of relevance with his performance.
Beautiful. I'll have to check that out.
Did you know me back then?
Huh?
Did you know me back then?
Not really, no.
I was lanky, high platforms, and big hair. I have to send you a picture. So that was Sly in the beginning.
You have to get us some of those photos so we can use these when your show comes up.
Tons of photos. I have to send them to you.
Just message me them.
Yeah. He was a big influence, and then Stevie Wonder and Donny Hathaway. Donny Hathaway, because he had that gospel flavor.
Right.
But I would never say I was like any particular performer. I wanted to be me.
Right.
So if you give me a song and say it's gonna be mine, after a while.
I think it's safe to say you took your own path in the music business, man.
Yeah.
You're still calling your own shots.
Yes. Always have, and it's a little different now. This new age thing.
Yeah. And you're also an adult now. You're retired.
I grew up.
This is your thing, man.
You know what's so funny? When I was growing up as a young man, I wanted to be a movie star. You used to watch all the westerns and the Howdy Doodies and all those shows. I actually wanted to be a movie star.
Wow.
But I turned out to be a singer, so I made the best of it. See my face. So, yeah, I've been around a lot of people. I've learned a lot. Like I said, you learn about yourself. Personally, I don't think, people say, you're a star. I don't even think I'm a person. The way you see me now, I'm like this all the time. But people put all these accolades on you. And if you don't watch yourself, your head will blow up. But it's just important to be yourself and you can work longer. I have a son, he's a performer. He works at Music Soul Child. He's a producer and all this good stuff. But he got stuck. I said, you got to start doing other music. Oh, Dad. I said, okay. You work everywhere, Dad. Yeah, because I made myself popular music, funk music, jazz music, whatever. But that's just where I roll.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, thank you for bringing your story to the show.
You're so welcome. I'm so happy to be
James,
here.
it was great.
Thanks, James.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
On behalf of our hosts, we would like to thank the Michigan Rock Legends Hall of Fame, our guests, and especially our listeners. The MMHP is found on the 989 network, as well as all familiar podcast hubs. up-to-the-minute information, as well as Dr. J and Sir Fred's Michigan Music Songs of the Week, can be found on the MMHP's Facebook page /MMHP989. You can connect with Scott at scottbakermusic.com, Dr. J at michiganrockandrolllegends.com, Sir Fred at fredrife.com, and Mr. Mike on YouTube as MRBTEE1.
On behalf of all of us here at the MMHP and the 989, we'd like to thank the voice of the MMHP, Mr. Eddie Switek, for all